oh, before I kind of wanted to like go into like the more of uh, the SN, JP, cognitive functions aspects. But
Yeah.
well, was there any before we do that, was there anything in particular that you wanted to ask me? Because I know you were kind of looking for people to do videos with.
Not quite. Just because I don't know. Right now, I feel like I don't know. If I have a question, I feel like it'll come to me later. Just don't have any certain thoughts right now.
Okay.
Yeah, but I myself was also reading about the Kyrgyz temperaments. So that's interesting that you bring that up.
Okay. Oh, did you have any thoughts about did you relate to any temperaments more than others?
Yes. Um, I was reading about SJ traditionalists, SP experiencers, NF idealists, and NT conceptualizers. And I don't really think of myself as an experiencer, the SP, because when I was taking my notes from my little book that I have about this stuff, it says they stay open to possibilities, responsive, spontaneous, focus on immediate situation, risk taking, adaptable. I don't know. I guess I stay open to possibilities. Um, Responsive to what? I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe I'm just not good at understanding words because I find that whenever I'm reading into this kind of stuff that I consider kind of heavy for my little pea brain, I always look up words in the dictionary to see just what exactly do they mean by that one word.
Yeah, and I think that doing that can actually mess you up because the dictionary definition will be like just, you'll focus on what it means and like or at least I don't. Maybe not everyone does this, but I'll just like go with a literal meaning, and I find that it's just too well defined to really be significant, I guess.
Hmm.
Um, the same thing happens when I'm taking a Myers-Briggs test. Like I'll read each question literally, and if I don't relate to it, I'll just answer no.
Yeah, like some of them have wording that is hard to understand, but I don't know if I always focus on the immediate situation. And I guess I'm kind of adaptable, but for the most part, I like to have some kind of schedule, some kind of structure, or else I feel undisciplined. Like, I feel like I'll go off track, which is what I've been doing. Sorry, I was holding this book here. I've been doing lately with this exercise program I've tried to create. I well, first of all, I don't think I created it all that well to begin with, but since I never made any firm changes to it once I kind of decided what would be better for me. I've just been doing whatever lately, and I haven't even exercised in the past 2 days, but it's not so much that I don't really know what I should do. It's more like I either run out of time during the day because I'm so busy, and yesterday was because I was just so tired. I couldn't. But I feel undisciplined if I don't do that. I feel disappointed in myself if I have decided that I want to start doing something and then I don't do it.
Okay, that's really interesting. That actually tells me something. The fact that without a schedule, so creating a schedule, is that a skill that you kind of picked up somewhere along the way, or did you like?
Mm, it's funny because I don't really consider it a skill. I just consider it something that everyone has to do because, um, well, most people they have to wake up at a certain time of day. They go to work, even if they work at home. It usually has to be done at some certain part of the day, and then they just like do their other everyday things. They eat and wash and things like that, and then they try to make a little time for any personal things they have to do, like running errands and whatnot. Today I didn't work at either of my jobs, so I woke up at 1 p.m. I'm kind of embarrassed. Um, and if I didn't have to do this video here, I probably would have ended up doing nothing today. I might have gone out of the house just so I would have something to do, because if I stay home all day, it's kind of depressing. And I feel like I've accomplished nothing. And I hate feeling like I've accomplished nothing because it makes me feel worthless.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, um, since you say you create schedules just mainly because you would do nothing without it,
Yeah.
that sounds like it leans more towards P than J.
Interesting, because I thought J was all about structure. That's why.
So the J types, I think this is where a lot of people get confused. The J types um, prefer to create to be structured because that's their natural tendency,
Um,
and they feel like it's like they'll immediately uh, feel like something is wrong if there is no structure.
okay.
Whereas in your case, and this is, your case sounds like more like me, um, where I know that if given, if I'm allowed to just be lazy, like if I had nothing that I needed to do, and I had like nothing telling me that that I had to be doing something, even internally,
Mm-hmm.
I would actually be okay just lying around doing nothing.
Hmm.
But I realized that that it is being lazy, and that I do have to have some kind of structure. Otherwise I will just lie around and do nothing, or I won't accomplish the things that I know need to get done. Like I know I have to get my bills paid. I have to do laundry. Um, and then now that I have a full-time job, I have to be up at a certain time and
Yeah.
go to bed at a certain time. So it's like I know I have to have a schedule and some structure in my life, but again, it's only because I have to, and not because it's something I naturally tend gear towards.
Oh, I see. I was just thinking about earlier this week. For my substitute teaching job, well, the way I get jobs is I have to use this automatic notification program to let me know whenever a new job is posted online. Because if not, other people who have this same program, like they take it so fast. Like these jobs, it's pretty difficult because they can get like to get the job itself because they get taken away in seconds by other subs. And so on Monday night, I was not able to get any for this Tuesday, and since I wasn't working in my retail job on Tuesday, I really wanted to do my substitute teaching, but I couldn't. And I had even woken up really early that day, like at 6 a.m., because sometimes the automated system will call people in the morning if there's a job available. And I just woke up at 6 a.m., even though I usually wake up at 5:30 a.m. when I know I'm working, and I was waiting for a call. I was looking online on the online system, and there was nothing. So I guess I could have gone back to sleep, but instead I just decided to kind of make myself useful that day. I did some grocery shopping for my family, and I spent time with my family members at home, and I spent a lot of time on Personality Cafe making some allegedly intelligent posts.
You see, that sounds a lot like a P to me. It's you're being that's what being spontaneous means. Like those are things that you hadn't planned to do that day, but you adapted to your situation.
Oh,
Like you were awake when you didn't expect to be. Like a J type would not have even considered doing those extra things, and so I think that's where people think P types like don't accomplish anything, or they're totally unstructured. But that's not true. P types will actually do more things, like more unplanned things,
mm-hmm.
because
Well, I figured, sorry to interrupt, but I figured that even though those things were not planned, they were things that I have to get done eventually, so I might as well do them if I have a full day of nothing to do.
yeah, and that's and again, that's just part of being adaptable, and that's what spontaneous is. There are these things that you could do, so well now you have the time, well, go ahead and do them, and and maybe that there on another day that maybe you wouldn't have even thought of doing like those specific things. Maybe you wouldn't have felt like going on Personality Cafe, or maybe some other idea might have popped into your head. And that's kind of what happens to me. It just kind of varies from day to day. Like I don't know like how I'm gonna even if I have like an idea of like what I'm planning to do when I get home from work, something else might come up. I'll decide to just either if something interesting is on TV, or if I find an interesting post in Personality Cafe, I might just decide to just spend the rest of the evening on that.
Yeah, I guess. Sometimes well, I don't know. One thing that makes me know that I appreciate structure though is that, um, if somebody I know wants to do something, I'll have to plan it at least a week in advance. It's like if one of my friends says, "Do you want to go out tonight?" I'll say no. Way too much short notice. I need to know in advance, especially if it's something far away. But well, I don't know. I guess if it's something that's being done close by, it's not as necessary to know in advance as if it's something far away, but I still want to know in advance because the idea of disrupting whatever I was planning to do, even if I was just planning to stay at home that day and kind of not do anything, I still want to know in advance.
Well, I'm that way too, but I think in my case it's more because whatever it is that this friend wants me to do um, is probably not as desirable as whatever else I was going to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's more that for me it points more towards introversion, and
Mm-hmm.
well, introversion and a lack of extroverted feeling. So I have, in general, I would rather just spend time by myself doing whatever than to spend it with somebody else who decides on the spur of the moment, hey, let's go and hang out and do this, whatever.
Yeah, me too. Another thing is that for either of my jobs, sometimes I'll get called in, and like they'll ask me at my retail job, "Are you able to work tonight?" Or maybe I'll be called by the automated substituting system the morning of a job, and in both instances, I'll be likely to not take it because I don't really like the idea of just knowing so with such short notice about having to do something. So usually I'll say no
Yeah.
to both of them.
Yeah, it's the same with me. If another person is asking me to do something on the spur of the moment, I'll usually say no. But if it's me deciding on my own, I feel like going for a walk, or I think I'll take this time to clean my kitchen, or I think I'll just pop in a DVD and watch it. That's all of those are just me making the decision on my own, as opposed to being directed. For me, I don't know, what your type is, but for me as an ISTP, ISTPs are known for being really independent, because of that introverted thinking being the dominant function.
Yeah.
We enjoy thinking for ourselves, um, uh, and, uh, and just dealing with just situations in our own element, I guess. So, probably a better way to describe it.
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about this instance last week. I don't know if this situation would mean anything in terms of typing me. However, one day I decided that I was going to be really hardworking and do both of my jobs in the same day. You know, teach all day and then work my retail job at night. So on Tuesday night, I grabbed the all-day sub job, decided to do that. But then the morning of, I decided I'm too tired. I can't do both of these jobs. So fortunately, since I woke up early enough, I was still had time to cancel my teaching job, so somebody else would still have time to take it. And I did work in my retail job that night only. I woke up around noon. I guess I felt kind of disappointed in myself that I would just cancel my job so suddenly. However, I knew that if I didn't do that, then I would feel so tired by the end of the day that in my retail job I wouldn't be able to do good work. It's a good thing I did that because I ended up having to do a ton of work in the photo department that day.
Okay.
And I didn't want to mess anything up if I was too tired.
Yeah. So that's another good example of just making spontaneous decisions that you realize are good for your current situation.
Mm-hmm.
Making a decision at the last moment, assessing what's going on with you, and realizing that changing plans right now is the best thing for what's going on.
I like that the substituting gives me the freedom to choose jobs what days that I want. I could do full day, just AM, just PM. I could do different schools, different grade levels. And however, I don't know, like the funny thing is that I was thinking with this kind of job I would be so undisciplined and I would hardly ever work. But I am working pretty often, like every chance I get, just because well, I mean I do like seeing the kids, and also because the honest truth is that it pays much more than my retail job for doing much less.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's something that I need for myself. I need to make money so that I can pay off my student loans. And even though I still live with my parents and they buy me things, I sometimes like to help out and buy some groceries for the family and for myself.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Yeah, just being, just making well-informed decisions on the spot and changing your plans to fit the situation. I can relate to that. Another thing too that I've been hearing you saying is that you feel horrible about yourself whenever you do change plans or if you don't get something done. Um, and I think that is, uh, or at least for me, it stems from just the environment I grew up in. My parents, teachers, employers, would all emphasize just being efficient and organized and structured. And I think that's why I and a lot of other perceivers might mistype as J types because we think that organization and structure is good. We see positive results when there is structure.
Yeah.
Uh, and we're always told do the important stuff first and then you can do what you want to do. And I think that's that kind of leads to a lot of us having taking on like a judger persona. Uh,
Yeah, I've noticed. I guess it's kind of like that for me too. Because if I ever suddenly decide I want to do something, even if it's going to the store, or I'll go out and one of my parents will say, "Where are you going? When will you be back?" And it kind of makes me not want to go out, especially if I'm going somewhere kind of far,
yeah,
because I don't like being interrogated whenever I want to leave the house.
yeah, yeah. It's totally the same with me. Um, yeah, like when I was living with my parents from growing up, and, yeah, they always had to know where I was going and when I was going to be back, when I was doing what. Did you finish your homework yet? Or,
Yeah.
did you clean your room? Uh, yeah, even even now, like I'm been years old. I've been living on my own for years, and
How old
and but even now, whenever you know, I'm okay if I go visit my parents, but if my parents come to visit me, my mom is always on my case about anything that's like out of place or anything that's untidy.
I get
She's
you
yeah.
because when I used to live on my own in college, I liked that I could go out whenever I wanted. I could have people over whenever I wanted. I just had to ask my roommates, and they were usually fine with it. And there's all this stuff I didn't need to worry about. And my parents would come over sometimes to bring some stuff since I didn't have a car at the time. And my mom would always try to clean my bathroom and my room, saying, "Well, this is messy." And I told her, "Well, I don't see anything wrong."
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Totally sounds like I bet your mom's an SJ. Probably some
Actually,
ISFJ or
I had to
ESFJ.
take an MBTI test once, and I believe she typed as ESFJ. But then again, the introvert and extrovert, it was extremely close, like just 1% preference over extrovert.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's totally, um, yeah, totally. ISFJ or ESFJ, depending on which function she uses first. But yeah, my mom totally does that when she comes over. She cleans my bathroom, cleans my kitchen, and then complains about it.
Yeah, so annoying. Yeah, actually, right now I saved the test results of my mom. Actually, it says that she also her N and S are about even. There's just a 1% preference there too. but it says that she's 62% feeling, 33% judging. That's, I guess, 33% judging over perceiving, by the way. But yeah, she's a big feeler, which really bothers me because I'll tell her, well, it's not fair to judge people based on your own values because maybe they have different values and maybe to them and for their functioning in society that's considered okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing about feelers, especially SJ, like SFJs, uh, they they take their values and they try to impart it onto others because they feel it's best for other people. And
Yeah, but, ugh, I hate when people do that because I guess there are some things that are considered best for society, and sometimes I think if people were to maybe make better decisions for themselves, that they'd be in a better situation. However, there's some things that I feel like I don't really have the right to tell other people what they should do.
yeah, but it's especially a more complicated relationship when it's your own parents. Because I have at least one like good ESFJ friend who's nothing like my mom. But I know she's ESFJ just because of her own values, and I could tell like she's a real traditionalist. She's definitely a J type. Has to have things planned and stick to her plans. I did get a definite feeler vibe from her, just how she focuses on other people, like puts other people above herself. And, she's really nice, polite. Um, I imagine if she had kids, her relationship with her kids would probably be similar to how it is with my mom. But because it's not a family dynamic, then the boundaries are respected. Whereas with my mom, it's like she just views me as her son. Even though I've been an adult for several years, I'm still her son to her. So she still views me in that light. She doesn't know how to view me any other way. So she'll continue to try to impart her wisdom onto me, whether I want it or not.
I see. Interesting. By the way, sorry if I keep moving around, because I've had this neck pain for days. Ow. I haven't been feeling too good, so I apologize if I'm being distracting at all.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even notice those things.
Yeah, I'm sitting in a chair today. I always used to do my videos sitting on my bed, and I tried to kind of clean my room so there wouldn't be so much mess behind me. Here you can see a blanket draped over a bunch of shoe boxes. Because I couldn't find a way to really make it look nice, so I figured I would throw a blanket over it and the problem would be solved.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of my solution to things. Just do whatever is necessary. Don't I do my laundry. I stopped folding my laundry like just within a year after I moved out of my parents' place. Um,
Well, then
because,
they're gonna get wrinkled.
what?
You're gonna get wrinkled though. What I do sometimes with clothes I don't want wrinkled is I'll just hang them in the closet.
Okay, so what I do, I discovered that if I hang shirts in the bathroom while I take a shower, the steam will get the wrinkles out.
Yeah, supposedly that works, but for my stuff it doesn't seem to work that well. Maybe it has to do with the cloth.
Yeah, probably. And then like after you after the steam gets into you have to like tug on it and get because otherwise just it's still hanging wrinkled, so you have to like tug on it and like smooth it.
Yeah. Or you could just iron everything, but that's a
Yeah,
lot of work.
yeah, yeah. Ironing. Yeah, I mean it's easier just to fold them right away, which I still don't do.
Yeah.
And in fact, we're talking about being messy versus being presentable. As you can see, like I chose kind of a decent looking background. I got like my balcony out there. What you're
Yeah.
not seeing, I'll see. I'm gonna like grab the webcam here so you can see
Yeah.
what's like right at my feet on the floor.
Mhm. There's a shirt on the floor?
Shirts.
Why are there shirts on the floor? Is the floor that clean that you can have them laying there?
I did that. That's mainly because when I took them. Okay, so I've been told, at least by my mom, that sweaters like that. Put the camera back on.
Yeah.
Uh, that you're not supposed to let them dry completely in the dryer.
Oh yeah, because they might shrink.
Yeah. And so the solution to that is basically just take them out while they're still damp, and then kind of lay them out, like either on a bed or on a sofa. And so my mom was describing that process to me and saying, well, yeah, you just need to leave it there, just maybe for a few hours or overnight or something. Well, these sweaters have been here for like 3 days.
Why don't you pick them up?
Because I don't normally walk through this area, and so they're not really in the way, and so I just kind of grab a sweater whenever I need to wear one.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it went. So I think there's like 4 of them right now. I had I think I washed like 7 of them at one time.
Oh jeez. Yeah, I was thinking about sometimes when I clean things I forget to put them away, and then I'll only do it like when I have to use it.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm eating. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, same thing with like packing and unpacking for a trip. Like whenever I come home from a trip, I don't unpack. I just grab stuff out of my bag as I need them.
I kind of do that, I think.
But that kind of stuff would drive my mom nuts.